Truck got crystal clear headlights on it, as you can see. I'm outside in a real windy day and all that, and got a few new changes on the truck, of course, but I also have to make a change again today. You know, I have to make a change today. It's going to be a major change, of course, and it's going to be dealing with a hub. So we're going to change out this squeaky hub that tweet whenever you hit a speed bump and whatnot. And like I said, it's real windy, so you see my hair blowing all over the place and stuff like that, so ain't worried about it. Another thing is, man, I did end up taking the twists or dreads out of my hair. It looked like it's twisted, or dreads are still in there, but it's not. I guarantee you my hair's probably just trained to do that. But talk about my hair another day, man. Hair. But that's just for all you other guys out here that got the same hair as me, other brothers, of course. Of course, I am a brother. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to take a look at the truck. Not as clean, it's a little dirty or whatever, man. But before we pop the box open, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the truck around the back or whatever. Pull the truck around back or whatever. And after I pull the truck around back, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the video from there. Jack the truck up. And you know, y'all know what I do, man. I ain't really gotta explain it because y'all see it every video. Oh yeah, I know that bad boy tall. It looked like it could be 10 feet, but I know it's only about 10 inches. And that's not even with the new tires, man. The rims and tires definitely gotta come. I'm not gonna say coming soon. Let's just say it's coming soon. Do got the part with me, man. You know, I got my part, of course. I keep it on me. And I keep my tool on me, man. Using gloves, by the way. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but we keep the tool on me. I just ordered a new cover, put this as a return because it's gotta go back because they gave me some janky crap, man. Passenger side is already changed out, by the way. We talked about that in another video. We got a brand new pair of shoes, man. Yeah, look at what we working with. Oh man, that look like that's the right one. Man, it better be the right one. Match this thing up real quick and see what we got. Look at that. We finna doggone do is jack up the side. Go jack up the side. We got our wood. Gotta keep a bunch of wood on me. I took some 2x4s, got it chopped up at Lowe's, and I took some nails and put some together. That's the cheap route right there. Make sure you mash the nails down. If you don't, and you try to chop the tires with them or something like that, you might end up doing something that you didn't mean to do. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and get my tools ready, man. I'll catch y'all in the next clip. Yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next clip. Finally, now that I got everything all situated, everything seems like it's going to go pretty smooth. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do, since I got it jacked up, got it on the jack stand, got my tools out with all I need. I already got my gun ready, locked and loaded. Man, we finna go ahead, take the tire off, or take the lug nuts off, take the tire off, take the wheel spacers off. Then from there, we'll go ahead and go from there. Take the rotor, the brake pads, brake caliper, and all of that. You know, y'all already know what the deal is if y'all got a lifted truck, or if y'all already changed out y'all hub before. I'm about to go ahead and throw some music on for y'all, man. I'll catch y'all in another clip.
Look up, Mason.
Finally got it out the way, man. It's a 4-wheel drive hub on this truck, by the way. I put a 4-wheel drive on it because the 4-wheel drive, I ended up getting a CarQuest, and it's a 4-wheel drive CarQuest hub because I got, you know, I had a plug that hit me up or put me on a commercial account or whatever. So he used that commercial account, got me a good deal on it, $173 out the door. But before I went to that at Vans Auto, I went to another one that was close to my job. They were trying to sell me a hub for $269 before taxes. Commercial account, $242. And that was a 2-wheel drive hub. I just went with the 4-wheel. It is a nice little day out. Real busy, it looked like. So I'm gonna slide a little bit. This truck it's a nice truck, but it is a dirt hog. This sucker knows how to collect some dust, man. The hub is a success out here. Do I plan on keeping this as my only vehicle? No. I obviously want a vehicle with less miles, not squatted, and also I would love to have something that doesn't have as many issues, because every time I hit a bump, that door starts popping. And it sounds like a vacuum type of noise or something like that, and it's a loud sound, a loud pitch sound, whatever you want to call it. Very irritating. Anyway, what's it like driving a 9-inch lifted truck, a truck that's squatted? I'm gonna give you some key points of why this is very important to discuss, because most folks, they look at the aesthetic and they think that it's aesthetically pleasing. Those that want a truck, they want to stand out, but you got to realize you're standing out in what kind of way. Is it standing out in a good way for attention, or standing out in a bad way for attention? There's good attention and there's bad attention, and they both can be too much attention in a way. And a squatted truck is too much attention, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, you will never be able to force anyone, no matter how smooth talking you can be, no matter how handsome you think you may look, no matter how much money you think you have and put into the truck. You will never, ever in your life be able to force any of these folks on the road to like your truck, man. You will never in your life, man. It all comes down to, are you confident? Do you have the confidence to be able to handle criticism? Are you able to hear that thing looks silly, that thing's ugly, that thing shouldn't be legal? Are you ready to hear some things like that? Are you ready to park your truck, go walk in the building, and be laughed important question. Are you able to do that? Are you able to be rejected? Are you able to be considered a menace? Are you able to jump in your truck every day, day in and day out, and just wonder, what is it like driving a squatted truck every day at the age you're at? Or what is it like? What would it be like driving a squatted truck when you're 30 or 40 years old? You know, you got to think. This is a style for people that are more not established in a way. You know, if you want me to give you my honest truth, you know, instead of trying to sound all prolific, I'm gonna just give it to y'all blunt, man. Because if you're looking to get into owning a squatted truck, you gotta realize that this is a style that is gonna looked upon as an unestablished person, and they may have financial problems, and you may stay with your parents. You know, it's almost like a teenager. Back, you're in high school. You know, you probably don't have good credit, not a good job, and if you do have a good job, it's probably a job that revolves around hard work, not a lot of thinking, because most folks that think and use their brain, they would never really put a lift kit on their truck. Something when you have to start dealing with numbers and, you know, dealing with finances and things like that, that's more of the brainiac type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little bit of brains to do mathematics and things like that. Squatted truck, you know, a squatted truck is acquiring taste. Now, I wouldn't be someone to live in the city. If you live in the city and you feel like you want to be a people pleaser, I would not own a squatted truck. I wouldn't even think about getting a squatted truck. Okay, I wouldn't even think about a truck in general, because for one, it's too much gas anyway. You put a lift kit, bigger tires, rims on it, that's even more gas, you know. But you will stand out like a sore thumb, and of course, like I said, if you have bad anxiety, I would not consider getting one of these, man. I don't really care what people say, to be honest. I'm driving this damn thing, and I'm gonna drive it until I feel like I can't drive it no more. And they can laugh, joke, and say whatever they want. But at the end of the day, I get the last laugh, because guess what? It's a squatted truck. I can raise it back up, but I can also put bigger rims and tires on it, and I don't have to cut nothing. You got to keep in mind, with a big lifted truck, if you have a big old lifted truck and you plan on putting rims, tires on it, you need to obviously prepare yourself for that. And when I say prepare yourself, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying you have to get ready, as in make sure you have a safe vehicle before you decide to put that on, because you will get a hub failure. You will, you know what I'm saying? If you have never changed the hubs out, you're taking a risk in a way. Rear hubs, I mean, that's the rear. You know, you're not turning the wheel with the rear. The rear just takes a little bit of the beating when you hit a speed bump or something, you know, something like that. But, or like a pothole or something like that. But the front, it's turning, it's hitting all of the, you know, the speed bumps, all of the potholes. And then also you gotta focus on your alignment. If you have an off alignment, you know, your tire isn't actually driving straight the whole time. You know, it's not rolling straight the whole time. It's wobbly, but you just can't see it if your alignment is off. If you feel like you can replace that hub by yourself, and you got your tools on you, this is why it's important to keep tools on you. As a man in general, you should keep tools on you. But if you have an older vehicle, yes, keep tools on you, of course. Because if you have to go take it to the parts store and get that thing fixed ASAP in a hurry, you can look up YouTube videos on how to do it. And you might need various amounts of tools. It might not just be a impact wrench. You know, you may need a mallet. You know, you may have to bam that thing up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You may have to get you a flathead screwdriver to pry something, pry bar to pry something. You know, you may have to have a grinder. You might have to grind the stud off. You know what I mean? You may have to have additional tools from previous projects or other projects you might want to do later on. And you might have to apply that. You know, it might not just be as easy as unbolting. You may need a breaker bar, you know. A lot of cases when it comes to suspension parts, you gotta have that breaker bar, man. I ain't gonna stress it enough. You're gonna need that breaker bar, and you probably gonna need some PB blaster. Those right there, because there's some rust that's up in your suspension, but it's mainly in those bolts, man. It's not so much of the part getting rusted. The bolt is the most important part, the bolts and the screws. Y'all ain't trying to hear me, man. Y'all just tuning in just because y'all just want to see a squad of truckers. I ain't trying to hear nobody talk, man. And I didn't want to go through Advanced Auto. I think Advanced Auto and O'Reilly's and AutoZone and things like that are very overpriced. And regardless if you have access to a commercial account or whatever account you got or whatever kind of discounts you got, sometimes it's better to just get it online. You know, sometimes, you know, I get it. You don't want to have to wait. But if you can, something like a ball joint, you know, you got to be doing like some mudding or something, or burnouts or some off-roading. Or you got to be driving like a wild maniac for your ball joints to just give up on you. You know, doubt that it'll give up on you just from you daily driving it. Because that's just not how suspension works, you know. But the boot will come off of that thing. You don't want that, because then you're gonna be clunking whenever you make full turns or just turns in general. You'll be clunking all over the place. And then another thing is, if you're gonna clunk all over the place, you're gonna get gunk all over the place. And when I say gunk, you're gonna have grease all over your suspension. Grease is all over mine. And it's not really from the lower ball joints. I wouldn't say it's from the lower ball joints. It's from the ball joints on the upper control arms. And those can be replaced. But if you have the rough country upper control arms, you have to go through rough country to get the replacement ball joints. And yes, you have to, there is no clamp rings on the old part because it's an OEM part. It's pretty much flanged on there. It's a flange in a way. Not welded, but a flange. So now this is when it gets tricky, because you may need a flathead screwdriver. So you can get up under the flange and pry it up out of there. Because if you pry at least half of it, if you pry half of the flange ring that's around it, you can press it out or you can bang it out. Me, I bammed it out. I didn't use my press whenever I changed out my lower ball joints the first time. And I didn't use a press the second time. I actually bammed it out. So you don't have to use a press to get it out of there, but you know, if you feel like you have the time on your hands to use a press, then I say go for it. You got it. You might as well use it every way you can, you know, and get your money's worth. And then after you get your money's worth, you just go return it, you know. All right, so last time we was parked up in the driveway. We were changing out the hub on the driver side, of course, right? And it's a 4-wheel drive hub, but it's been holding up pretty good. Not much difference from a, 2-wheel drive hub, of course, but still got that little hole right there. As you can see, It's got a small hole in it, and it's been holding up. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end up doing an alignment on it for because you know it needs an alignment after you change out stuff like hubs and you start messing with upper control arms and things like that, and lower control arms, all of that stuff. You're gonna need to do an alignment eventually, right? This is why you need bigger rims. You see the scuff marks on it? That could be from the tires or from the rims itself. I mean, I don't know. It could be from anything. It could have been from me knocking against stuff when I was installing it. You know what I'm saying, man? But how y'all doing on the day, man? Y'all just chilling, or y'all just want to watch a little car video, truck video? The clear has been holding up real good, real good. Do need a new grill soon, but the clears look so good on it, despite the paint job and the windshield. Paint job and the windshield is the worst right now, and then also the rims and tires. But shit, I can't really complain, guys. I can't really complain. The truck's been getting me from point A to point B. I'm doing a little walk around to make sure I ain't tripping on nothing. This wire loom right here is for my wheel lights, which I will be redoing. But today I have a few things I want to go over, because as we know, with the new lifted suspension and all that good stuff, you gotta also upgrade parts and whatnot, right? So I ended up going and grabbing something on eBay. Look at this, a new sway bar links. I still have a little trouble with the squeaky noise. It's actually not the hub, so it's something else. And I'm leaning towards lower control arm. Something's telling me it's the lower control arm, because it's the oldest part that I have on my vehicle right now. I mean, on the whole front end. The lower control arms is the oldest part, which is the bushings right here. It could be those bushings. It could be the upper control arm bushings, who knows? But I'm leaning towards the lower control arm. It wouldn't surprise me if it is that. I'm gonna end up changing out the ball joints for the upper control arms soon, or whenever. And we're gonna change out the sway bar link. We're gonna jack the truck up today, y'all. I ended up getting a new bed cover, and it's from eBay. eBay always doing me greasy, man, but they gave me a new, I went and bought a new bed cover. I'm gonna return the other one, get my money back. But look at it. It wasn't even close, man. They just be doing me wrong, bruh. Not complaining, but this is the third cover that I've tried to install, and none of them works. All of them just break, or they just don't fit. Every last one. So you want a good cover, you probably got to go through rough country, and you might have to spend that extra $400. You know, you might have to come out $600 easy. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with it, you know, because that's the type of cover you could probably put a lock and all that on it. You know, you might as well go ahead and spend the money, especially if you got a new truck, or you got a truck that you doggone redid everything on it, and it's a clean truck. You know, you want clean stuff on it. You don't want to go with a tonneau cover. You know, tonneau cover, just a little rollback for an older vehicle. Somebody wants something simple to cover from the bad weather and the rain and things like that. But the tonneau cover, the roll up, I would not recommend getting this for your truck, because you know, when you get stuff from eBay, they don't measure things properly unless it's a well-known brand like Moog. As you can see, Moog is probably going to be a well-known brand that I'm going to put on the truck right now after I jack the truck up, and it's probably going to fit just like a OEM part that you would get from any other retail automotive store, whatever. Not retail, but any other automotive store. Get what I'm trying to tell you? See what I'm trying to told you? So, you know, if if you get what I'm saying, can I get an amen? Or can I get a hallelujah? If anybody knows, gotta have hand protection because we are, after all, creeping into the spring, but it's still cold out. We tired of the cold weather. I don't know about y'all, but I know I'm tired of the cold weather. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my jack and all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and set up. I'm gonna jack the front up because we're doing both. We're also gonna do an alignment today, guys. I'm gonna show y'all how to do a proper alignment because my truck tires are not aligned. So for example, when you start off your alignment, you wanna make sure you're getting the steering wheel straight. You want the steering wheel to be straight. We're not trying to get our tires straight when we're in the truck driving it and parking it, okay? When you're driving and you're parking, say you're parking and you say you're getting ready to park, you want your steering wheel to be aligned straight as possible because we're going to base everything off of our steering wheel, right? So we base everything off our steering wheel. Pretty much, we go outside the truck or the car. I'm gonna say truck because we're dealing with trucks on this channel right now, at least. And we line and we look at what our tires look like with our steering wheel straight. Now, this is going to tell you if you have a straight steering wheel and your tires are good. That means when you're going down the road, and even when you have your hands on the steering wheel, you shouldn't be veering off to the left or you shouldn't be veering off to the right. You should be holding it straight. None of this jitter jabber. You know, you should be just fine. And if you're not, then you may need to check your alignment. Could be your ball joints on your lower ball joints. It could be your upper control arm ball joints. It could be a numerous amount of things, but we all want to rule it out to being the alignment, of course, right? Because we put a lift on the truck. You know what I'm saying? You put a lift on the truck, you're obviously going to need to align the truck properly. So like this tire, the steering wheel is straight, but this tire comes out a little bit. So it's kind of like opening the door. You can't see it, but I can see it. It's out slightly, probably off by 1.5 inches. This one is a little inward, so it looks like the tires, instead of it being straight, they kind of veer to the passenger side a little more. So the front end of the tires are kind of going this way. So we want to fix that and bring them this way, you know. Also, when you don't have a proper alignment on your vehicle, it does trigger the stabler track. You know what I mean? It's not that you have a bad hub or you have a messed up sensor. You probably just have a bad alignment after you get your after you get your lift kit installed and things like that. So we got our wood. We're gonna be using wood, right? We also got our jack. We are not gonna be using no jack stands. We're gonna just go ahead, get our jacks ready. I guess we can use our jack stands. Why not? Right? Why not use the jack stands? Damn it. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna end up setting this thing up right now. Okay. We're gonna set this thing up because once we get the sway bar links installed, that's when we will perform the alignment process. How do we align the truck? Is it from the upper control arm or is it from the tie rod? We'll see. Just teach us a little something, Los. Teach us a little something, would you? Why not? So now I'm looking at the ball joints that I just replaced about a couple weeks ago, the lower ball joints. How are they holding up? Well, they are Moog. They holding up just fine, y'all. I did grease them as soon as I did install them as well. And what I did was I installed them one at a time. So one I installed on a Tuesday, I think, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know. But then I installed the next one the week after that, and they've been holding up just fine. You know, you replace one ball joint, I mean, your truck you gonna notice a big difference. You will notice a big difference. Do not just change one ball joint out and then never change the other one. What I'm saying is, you know, you can, you know, if you don't got the money, you can wait a month to change out the next one. I mean, what, these things don't go out every other week. They don't go out every other month or anything like that, unless you're going off road. But if you're just using it as a daily driver, the thing will last you about a year or two, I would say. Especially with a big lift like this, you probably get a year or two out of them. So I'm gonna show y'all what the lower ball joints look like and how they've been holding up real quick. I'm gonna show y'all. So as you can see, the lower ball joints are holding up pretty good. Now you see one ball joint, it looked like it was kind of busted. It's not busted. I overdid it with grease, and 5 pumps is pretty much all you need when you're greasing up any ball joint. Pretty much any ball joint or any bushing, you don't really need to pump it 10 to 20 times, even if you don't see much of anything. And another thing is, I would not recommend getting a hand crank pump or manual pump. You know, if you have the extra money, especially if you do your own suspension parts, because you're not going to really get a chance to take a break from something like this. Okay, it's like a never-ending process of work, replacing, diagnosing, you know, because you got noises, you got things that bust, you get parts that get loosened up. There's so many different factors when you're thinking of getting a lifted truck. Okay, that's just the reality of things. You know, you're changing the geometric figure of parts, the body, panels, all of that, you know. But I'm gonna show y'all what gun I use. I wouldn't recommend getting one, but I'm gonna show y'all. So I want to say it's like a $20 gun from Harbor Freight, if I'm not mistaken. It's 3,000 psi, as you can see. 3,000 psi on it. It's not that good because you have to screw this cap, and it's hard to screw, especially when it's already greased up, like as you can see. You see how badly greased it is? So it's hard to screw, so you can hardly get a grip on it like you want to tighten it down when you stick it onto the nozzle of the ball joint. And like I said, it's like a $20 gun from Harbor Freight. It's been getting me through, but I haven't been able to work the grease gun as I really truly wanted to. It's more of a headache than a help. Okay, I would say that this is more of a headache than actual help. What would help you out is a automatic grease gun itself. I think they go within between $100 to $200. I think it's well worth it. I'm gonna end up investing in the one because this probably won't be the last lifted truck that I deal with, you know. And it is getting a little irritating doing stuff in the driveway, so I'm trying to come up on a little game plan or a little hustle. That way I won't have to pull out in the driveway all the time, go somewhere else and do my work, you know. There's some investments that needs to be made, but little by little We gotta crawl before we walk, of course, right? Everybody uses that. But until you're in that situation, you know what I'm talking about. Let's get it.